What's up, you guys? All right, well, here we are. It's the end of April, and I've done it. No red April. Not one red day through the whole month. I finished today with over $8,000 of profit. That's going to put me up right around $92,000 on the month in gross profit. Wow. I'm grateful. It's been an awesome month, and I've been trading more conservatively with smaller share size, and this week has been really incredible with some awesome trades on CAPR and today UAVS. I feel like Stella got her groove back. I'm really feeling like I'm on fire right now, so I'm gonna be back at it tomorrow, month of May. We're starting a new month, but I feel like I'm really just getting rolling. I'm getting started. So I'm gonna try to keep this hot streak going, and June, of course, my trusty companion, right, girl? Hey, hi. Can I see your belly? Girl, I need to see that belly. I need to see that belly right now, girl. Right now. Let me see. What do we have here? She's such a sweetheart. All right, girl. Well, what do you suppose? We're gonna have another good week next week. First week of May. Let's try to make it happen. Keep the green streak going. 21 days in, and I'm not done. All right. So questions, comments, leave them right down below, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning, Friday, May 1st. See you then. All right, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in here and start doing our midday recap, and you'll be happy to know, those who don't already know, that I have just finished a no red month, and I am really pleased with that. So, to step back, you can see I'm up $7,900, almost $8,000 on the day today. Plus, this week has been phenomenal. This whole month has been amazing. My gross profit on the month before today was $84,000. So plus another $8,000 today brings me up to about $92,000 in gross profit. I didn't quite break that 100K mark, but that's fine. I'll have another shot at it starting May 1st. And there's really no indicator that momentum is slowing down. In fact, if anything, it seems like it's picking up. The last couple days with CAPR and UAVS, it's been absolutely crazy. I only traded one stock today. I was fully in the zone on this one stock that I was trading, which I think is a good way to do it. It's hard to watch multiple stocks all at the same time, although you certainly can do it. It's really not easy. The challenge that I have is that when I'm watching multiple stocks all at once, I'll miss one, and then I'll catch the next one, and I'm late on that one, and I just always sort of feel like I'm kind of behind the ball. So today, let's start with kind of the beginning of the watch list, and actually maybe because this is sort of a celebratory special recap, this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer one. So why don't I go back and kind of preface what this month, sort of how this month came together. So during the first 4 weeks of the COVID-19 crisis and shelter in place, we were sheltered in place here, and I was working from home. During those first 4 weeks when the market was dropping, 20, 30, 40, 37%, I actually did really well. I made about $45,000. But then I proceeded to go into a period of being extremely aggressive, trading from 9:30 in the morning till 4 p.m., sometimes even trading after hours, trading during the White House press releases, trading the S&P 500, trading the VIX, trading SPXS, SPXL, and I found myself at the end of each of those days exhausted with a headache, and on a couple of those days, on one of the days, I had about $30,000 in winners and about $25,000 in losers, and I was only up $5,000, after the whole thing. And I was like, this doesn't feel like it's worth it. I'm just being so aggressive. And so I had a couple days that were pretty big red days, also, where I was over trading, I was giving into FOMO, and I was just revenge trading, and I really wasn't following the rules that I've set. And this is a tough thing because when you become an expert at something, sometimes you feel that the rules that you would give to a beginner, this is where you set your stop, and this is how you do this and this and that you don't really need to follow those anymore. You feel like you've kind of advanced past that, which may be true in some instances, but it's also not true in other ways. And there's times where even those who have a lot of experience can kind of go rogue and start to just be very reckless. And I felt that I was kind of starting to do that. And I wasn't really happy with how I was trading. And I also felt like the way I was trading, while it was maybe honestly not even suitable for me, it was definitely not suitable for beginner traders, for the thousands of beginner traders that watch my recaps every day and are in the chat room and really are wanting to learn from me how to trade. And so I made the decision at the end of March that I needed to kind of press the reset button. And I didn't want to put myself into an official trader rehab, which I've done in the past. Trader rehab is usually when I go in and I set a very tight restriction on my share size and I start to, really buckle down on rules. What I decided to do instead was I said, I'm going to set a max share size of 6,000 shares, which is not, it's not crazy small, but it's certainly smaller than I had been trading. In March, there were several days where I was maxing out my buying power. So you're maxing out your buying power. Let's see. So let me just pull this up here. All right. So I'm going to do like the NASDAQ test stock here. So this is ZVZZT. All right. So ZVZZT, NASDAQ test stock doesn't count. It's not real money. So I'm going to start pressing the buy button. And I'm going long and I'm going in. And so actually I have a restriction on my account right now at 10,000 shares. So let me go and increase this. Let's see, trading, warnings. I'm just gonna say do not warn and do not warn for right now. I'm not gonna save it like that. So, you get to a certain point where, you know what, that's interesting. I don't have that much money in my account. So they're not actually calculating buying power. In any case, what ends up happening is, you max out your buying power and you get this message that you've used all your buying power. And so I was doing that on several days, which means I was putting, $100,000, $200,000 into some of these, into the S&P 500. So starting in April, and it was actually the last 2 days of March, I pressed the reset button and I started trading with smaller size, 6,000 share max size. And initially I started feeling a little bit frustrated because I was like, I'm not going to make a lot of money. I'm going to have a bunch of small green days and there's no way I'm going to have a good month. So, this was the first few days of April, $1,000. All right, 3,600 is good, $1,000, 1,000, 14, 350, 29. So these days, they were good. And I was like, okay, here we have 7 green days in a row. And it's kind of a consolation prize. I'm not hitting any $12,000 or $15,000 green days, but at least I'm being consistent. Going into the next week, even with 6,000 shares, I started to actually make some really good money. And then I was like, wow, okay, you know what? This month is really shaping up. And what I have found is that with smaller share size, I was less emotional. I was more willing to jump in and out of stocks faster, just to cut the losses and then get back in. I could get in and out faster also because it's easier to trade with smaller share size. And I also felt like I was being a much better teacher for our students. And so this is kind of the proof. Although there have been a couple of days where I went above 6,000 shares in the last 2 weeks, because I felt like, all right, I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like I've really, cleared the slate of some choppiness in March, and I'm feeling like pretty good right now. Generally, I've been still doing 2,000 shares to start, and then 4,000, 6,000, and every now and then I've gone a little higher. So ultimately, it was a really difficult month that gave way to a really fantastic month. And so for those of you guys who, for whatever reason, may have had a bad month here in April, you're a beginner trader, you made some mistakes, I encourage you to think about this as, possibly the turning point. That this bad month can be the wake-up call that you need to change things, that you need to do things a little bit differently. And so as we go into the month of May, what are you going to do differently from what you did in April? I honestly don't think I need to do anything differently at all. April has been a fantastic month. I think the biggest challenge for me is, can I keep it up? Can I continue to maintain this level of discipline, to not revenge trade, to not get myself into trouble? And ultimately, it is only a matter of time before I have a day where I am, I guess, a little too aggressive out of the gates. I go red, and then I don't get the opportunity to get back to green, and I just end up finishing red. I mean, it's just unfortunately the way it goes. THMO on the scans, let me see. Wow, look at that. Nice red to green move there. Not totally clear on the catalyst, or if there is a clear catalyst. I see some news from earlier, but in any case, good job for those of you guys that are watching it. So going back to this morning, UAVS was I think it was the second leading gapper. So we'll do 9:15 watch list, same as always, same as every day. So 9:15, UAVS was actually the third leading gapper. It was up at that was at 9:15. By 9:30, it was pretty close to the top, gapping up 35%. So I liked it, and ultimately what I was looking for was a pullback, which we didn't really get. It pretty much surged out of the gates, and I decided to really just jump in it for the squeeze up to $4. And so I jumped in and rode that momentum, and this thing squeezed out of the gates from about $3.65 to $3.75, $3.85, $3.90, $4, all the way up to $4.20. Then a really nice dip entry right down here, and a pop back up, another dip entry down here, another pop back up, another dip entry down here, another pop back up. And then, as you guys, of course, who are watching live know, I watched it through this consolidation. We got the break through 4, a nice retest of 425, and that was the cleanest setup. That was on an ABCD pattern. All right, so we had this really nice pullback right here, which was awesome. Squeeze up to 5, a big flush right here, which I went into a little early. My first entry on this drop was around, I think it was 70, and then I added down at like 25, and when it popped back up to 50, I got out really for pretty close to break even. It then dropped again to 15, and I bought again and sold that back up at 50 for a nice profit. So, that was a little bit of a close call, and of course then it flushed down again. It looks like I could have taken another dip on that, but at that point I'd already said I was throwing in the towel. So, this was the only stock I traded, and I was glued to the level 2. So UAVS now has just about 100 million shares of volume, and this is what I was watching: the level 2, the time and sales, and then the chart. So pure technical analysis on this, and it ended up coming together really well. I did take a number of trades on it. We'll see what, when I import the trades tomorrow, where it sits, but it was nice. It was a good clean stock, up 71% still right now. AVEO, I see this popped up and pulled back right here. Some may buy the break of 7. MNK, or no, it was MWK earlier was on the scans. I didn't trade it. The volume was kind of light. Ended up halting, going down, and then bouncing back up. But I didn't trade that one. Rand, another one that hit the scans, popping and pulling back. These were light volume, and I didn't feel comfortable trading them. And I felt that I was really in the zone on UAVS, so I was just going to continue to be really focused on that, and anything else I was just going to kind of leave alone. And that ended up working out really well. So that was the day. UAVS, pretty much all on that. And yesterday what did we have? CAPR, I was also I was pretty dialed in. I had one trade on Neon, which was a loser, and so that was part of today why I was like, I'm just going to focus on this one stock that I feel the best about, which, as you can see here, UAVS really came together. So that's it for me. I will be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, as always, and maybe what we'll do here is switch gears. I'll do some Q&A for pro students in a few minutes, and then we'll jump into the workshop at 1 p.m. All right, so that's the game plan. I'm gonna shut off the feed both on YouTube and in the chat room as we switch gears, and I'll see you guys back at it first thing tomorrow morning or at 1 p.m. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys at 1 p.m. for the workshop. All right, see you guys soon. Hey, did you know that I go live every single morning between 9 and 9:15 to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the bell for the alert, and you'll get the notification.